I'm Ali,
I'm Deb.
and we're the host of Connected Conversations, the podcast to help you find more ease, flow, and harmony in your life. Hello, welcome back to Connected Conversations. I'm Ali, and I got Deb here, and we are so excited to wrap up this four-part series of resetting goals and just starting your new year off strong with a different perspective. So if you haven't checked out our last episodes, we've been just giving great information about how to reset, reflect, set an intention, and what does that mean when you're in alignment. And today it's acting as if, so that you can create that different future. Because when you're acting as if your goal achieved, you're actually starting to move yourself forward with different actions, with a different behavioral style, different emotions, because you have to do different things if you want to get a different result in your life. If we're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, you're going to have the same result. And as we all know it, that's a little bit of a version of insanity. It's like eating the same things, doing the same stuff, and then the scale is not moving. Anyway, so today, act as if. So I love this topic because I'm a dreamer. I love looking in the future. I love planning and going forward. And in this particular like exercises that either Deb and I will explain that we do and how we go about acting as if, it's really powerful because that's where my futuristic self and the coach in me absolutely loves it because you're moving forward. There's tons of like again the reflection piece, there's tons of value in that and moving forward and acting as if. So one of the things that I absolutely love doing is meditation and guided meditations moving forward and imagining myself in a year from now. So let's say December 31st, and then seeing different marks. And what do I physically look like? What am I doing to have that goal and that life of liberty that I desire to achieve things that right now maybe seem impossible or don't even exist right now? So I can get my mind, my body, my soul into those forward moments and meditate in a way that I am that person now, not like in a year from now or whatever, just like becoming one with my meditation. Because when we're in our subconscious mind, it doesn't understand past, present, future. It's actually believing that it's true right now. And that seed that we're planting is going to move us forward and acting as if I already have the life that I desire, my life of liberty, my time, my financial goals, my freedom. So, Deb, how do you act as if? What are some strategies that you've learned over the times?
Yeah, I love that. I love that you do a future self meditation. I think in your right time is an illusion because everything is here right now. It's just you're right, aligning to it, aligning our energy to it. And part of that is acting as if because the person you are now is not the same person as your goal achieved. Like you said, you have to do different things. You have to embody different traits. So I always liked who is my person as my goal achieved because we have our vision board of the house I want, the car I want, the vacations I want to be able to take, what my career looks like, my income. And so how can I start embodying some of those traits? So for example, if we all are looking for financial freedom, so what what do I dress like as the person as my goal achieved? So sometimes I'll take some people that I admire who are already where I want to be and I look at how they dress or how I want to dress or maybe I want the Gucci bag. So how can I start embodying that now? So instead of, the $5 t-shirt, maybe next time I'll buy a $10 t-shirt. So I'm starting to embody some of those traits. So, how does my house look like? Am I organized as my goal achieved? How can I start embodying those traits in my house now? You know, when it comes to buying a car, I just got a new car. Is it the exact one I want? No, but did I buy a similar look to the car as my goal achieved? So some of those things is just kind of taking small action steps towards embodying the traits behaviors, actions as the person as your goal achieved. What does my body look like? And am I doing the things every day that I need to have the body that I want as my goal achieved? So all of the like it's really encompassing and making decisions now based on how you think the person as your goal achieve thinks, acts, and behaves.
And sometimes that's doing things completely different. And I love the body example. Again, it's because we all have a body and we can relate to it.
For sure.
And I look like when I look at myself a year from now for my life of liberty, like if I want this life of travel and to be able to support people, hold space, my physical body is very important to be healthy. Like to be free of any ailments, to be able to be have flexible and energy to move, because there's a lot of things that I want to do. And not only like does it take a mental capacity, it's physically like I want to go on adventure travel. Like that's what a life of liberty looks like for me. So I'm starting with health. So when I look at myself in December 31st, when I'm envisioning that, like I'm seeing myself like physically what I look like in the mirror, like physically see my body starting to change and really love all parts of my body, which like 5 years ago was very difficult for me to look in the mirror and say, like, wow, like you're beautiful and believe it. And now, like doing these exercises and like saying, like, wow, I really love this. And your arms are so strong. In your core, you've been working on it. Like, and I love that I've now experimented with these whole meals. And as I say these things, it's not that I'm focusing on like, no, don't eat chocolate, don't have this. Because when I'm focused on the don'ts or shouldn'ts or whatever, my mind's automatically going to go, like, I just, the
Give me the
chocolate, chocolate.
chocolate.
Like, why did you not buy a chocolate bar on the way home? Because that's one of my go-tos to self-soothe. Like, I'm a chocoholic. I I got the big old zit right here to prove it. Like, anyway, it's like moving forward is what I'm getting at and acting as if. So, what would the healthy version of me really want as a snack? So maybe that's a couple of vegetables and baba ganoush, or an apple with a little bit of peanut butter with a couple chocolate chips on it to satisfy that need, or whatever. And it's like I really envision myself eating it and enjoying it and being it so that I can have what I want. So when I say like act as if, like you have to envision what you want. And if you aren't able to afford maybe the things that you want, like I had a coach once asked me to go like get it like go test drive new cars. And it's like, well, I'm not going. He's like, just imagine, like be in that car, like get in it, test drive it. Like it doesn't mean that you're immediately going to manifest and do this. Like just allow yourself to dream and like get into it,
Mhm.
or go shopping somewhere and try on some really great clothes and something new that maybe you never would have done. And it's not that you have to purchase, like it's just starting to move forward, or go to a new restaurant, a new little area of town, and just observe and enjoy and act. Like you have to break a cycle of what you're doing and act differently. So I really love like visualizing and then getting really specific and then start making like those incremental changes. And you mentioned a bit about just your like the attitude. Like how would a woman of liberty look like act? Like I'm not gonna have a time scarcity. I'm not gonna worry about like, oh my goodness, I don't have time for this, blah blah blah. It's like, no, there's lots of time. Things are always happening for me. And overall, like I feel like I'm starting to believe it, which is cool.
Well, now that you're talking about food, you got me hungry. But yeah,
Mm.
you're right. If you can't, if you have on your vision board as your goal achieved, somebody who goes to really high-end restaurants, and I'm a foodie, so I love going out for really nice dinners. But maybe it's skipping the takeout a couple days a week and making yourself a really fancy meal. And it doesn't have to cost a lot, but you can start and, get the candles out, get the wine glasses out, and get your fancy cutlery out and have that moment and feel like what it would be to be in your fancy restaurant and experiencing it like you were your goal, like as your goal achieved. I think that one of the first things I usually tell clients is like, what appearance does the person as your goal achieve? Like, how is their hair done? How is her makeup done? What kind of clothes is she wearing? How can you start um showing up as that person? So do your hair, do your makeup, start showing up, do your nails. If you um think that she gets manis and petties regularly, and that's not, maybe treat yourself. If you can't treat yourself, start doing it at home. Do your nails, make them look pretty. So really, it's like even the smallest little changes, as in getting your nails done, doing your makeup, start dressing and acting as if you're already that person. So it doesn't have to be expensive, like you say. And like test driving a car, I've had a coach tell me that too. Go test drive that car. Imagine what it would feel like to be driving that car every day. And then it becomes more real for you, and you can really picture it, and picture what that experience would feel like.
It's so funny because sometimes you'll actually realize, like when I test drove the one car, I'm like, I don't actually
Which
like
what
this.
did you test drive?
An F pace Jaguar. I thought like I
Ooh.
really liked the look of them, and then I felt like I was squished. And I was a little
Oh,
race
so you
car
didn't like
driver.
it. You didn't like it.
No, I wasn't. It wasn't my favorite.
Oh
And it's not like pace.
no.
You all who drive F paces, they're a sexy car as far as I'm concerned. However, just there was something in it was like, this isn't it. And I'm a Jeep girl. And those who like see me in my Jeep are like, oh, of course you have a Jeep. Like that makes sense. Because I love to be outdoors and a little bit rugged. So it wasn't what I thought it was. So I'm happy that I took a Saturday afternoon and just sat in one, whatever. And then I actually went to Land Rover, much preferred that. And again, like go to the rugged look that's a little bit more boxy. Again, as a Jeep driver currently, that's probably more my speed. So go against maybe like something that you think right now, like do something completely opposite. Because again, like it's experimenting on what is different and not maybe what you think currently. So that's when you go and do those things that are a little bit uncomfortable or things that you normally wouldn't do. You're breaking maybe some fear. You're reprogramming your brain that what is possible, and you're allowing yourself to dream a little differently. And you will start acting a little like there'll be incremental moments where you'll do things that you're like, oh, I probably wouldn't have ever done this. And that's acting as if that's you moving to a different direction, which is what I think a little bit of growth. And it's not going to happen overnight. And if it is, like maybe it's not as authentic. However, acting as if is really cool. I want to switch paces because I think journaling is really powerful.
Mm.
And and writing out like different scenarios like I am so happy and grateful now that I am, and writing out how that feels because when we're putting pen to paper, whatever's on our mind and letting it go, it's like your mind again, like it's a tool to move forward. So do you do any journaling, Deb?
Absolutely. Well, I journal every day, but one thing that I really advise and really do probably yearly, but it's sometimes changing. Who am I as my goal achieved? So what does my house look like, down to the type of furniture in it? What am I wearing? How often do I travel? What restaurants do I go to? Um, it's very detailed. What are my relationships like as my goal achieved? What is my career looking like as my goal achieved? And I write it out, and it's quite, excuse me, it's quite lengthy, but I also record it and I listen to it. So I listen to my future self recording just to remind myself every day of who she is, and the habits she has, and am I getting my nails done, my hair done, all that stuff. It's all in there. What my body looks like. You said, you're strong because you want to be able to travel. I have, my weight in there, what my body looks like, how I show up, my posture, how I speak to people, how I speak in front of audiences. It's all in there. And I record it. And some people are like, oh, that's kind of, weird, but No, I've heard amazing things of people listening to their recording every day and then actually seeing it come to fruition. So I think it's a very powerful exercise to write out who she is and what that looks like. Do you journal?
Yeah, and I've started like experiencing, and I would experience things in five senses. So obviously, what we see, what we hear, what we taste, how we smell. And when I'm writing things out, like experiences maybe from my clients, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have 10 new clients and I'm able to experience their growth and change and support them for their career and lifestyle to be more in flow. It's been rewarding to have tears with them or joy and watch them overcome confidence issues and go after that new goal and earn so much more and like physically like experience what that's like and then experience like again my strength and holding maybe a plank and how much that has been enduring and I'm grateful for it. When you're talking about foodie, like maybe imagine the experience in the restaurant, the taste of it, the smells. Maybe there's like a firewood, something, and you could just, I don't know, get as close to the experience as possible and embody that. Because, like we've said it before, like our minds don't understand the difference, especially in the subconscious
Hmm.
state. And like you were saying, when we repeat it, that repeated motion, if you look at when you were a child, I think this is a really great analogy. How many times did you hear no? No, don't do this. No,
So
no,
true.
no, 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 no. And most of our programs are made by the time, let's say, six or seven, depending on the research you want to listen to.
Yep.
However, no is a predominant word. So when it's like, oh, I can have, no, you can't. Oh, I'm gonna, no, you can't. No, 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 no. So it's like you have to act as if and start reprogramming your mind. So the new narrative is yes, you can. Yes, this is possible. Yes, you can have everything you desire. Yes, I'm going to challenge myself. So what I love how you mentioned like reprogramming it and listening to it over and over again. That's the one insanity I would recommend is
Yeah,
listening to
because
these
our
things over and over and over again. Because if your
absolutely.
narrative right now is like, no, I'm not worth this. No, I'm never going to have this. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. It's like, yes, you can. And
And who's to tell you that you can't?
reprogram that. So
But
you like,
our mind learns through repetition. So that's the benefit of listening to your recording over and over. But like you say, getting so detailed is super important, and being able to really feel into that experience is absolutely a game changer. And when you start listening to it over and over, it's like, yes, I can see that, I can feel it. So I love that, the repetition part of it. And we also think in pictures. So like if I said to you right now, um, a spoon, you're picturing a spoon. You're not picturing the letters SPOON. You're picturing a spoon, or like your refrigerator. You can see your refrigerator and whether it opens right or left, or whether the freezer is on the bottom or on the top. So you're thinking in pictures. So that's the component of really being so detailed, is because that's how your mind thinks. It thinks in pictures, and it's the repetition and the visualization of it that will yield you quicker results. I guarantee it.
so with that, Deb and I have created a meditation for moving forward, act as if. So if you check it on YouTube, you'll be able to listen to it. And I recommend you just take that 15, 20 minutes and then take some time to journal because it'll allow you to really go deep. And we've both done a lot of this work. So we're obviously 100% like this is what we've done to be able to move our lives in such a powerful direction. So check it out. And we're going to have more meditations and hypnotherapies and affirmations to come this year. So that's really exciting.
It is exciting. We can also share the tips on how to write a self-image script too in our show notes, just so people have maybe a little bit of guidance on how to do that. And if you get really crafty, you can also just add some of your own motivational music or a favorite song to kind of like. I always like Alicia Keys' "Girl on Fire." Like, this girl is on
Mm.
fire. Anyway, That was a little segue there, but we will share that in show notes, and we will be back live on Monday, and we will also be back next Thursday with another episode of Connected Conversations. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share with your friends and rate and recommend on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. There will be links to more great resources in the description.